Hi everyone, January 1st, Happy New Year. Welcome back to High Altitude Scale Modeling. We're going to continue on with part 4 of our B-17G build. It's been a couple weeks, but the holidays did get in the way. Part 1 was the review. Part 2, we were doing a lot of photo etch for the interior parts, putting the seats together and everything. Part 3 was some sub-assemblies. Now we're on to part 4, which is going to be some PE and getting the interior color in. Now, working on PE for the interior, the seats, the cockpit, the bulkheads, all the areas. Problem with it is you reach a point where, like here, we have some of the PE in place, the gold PE. In here, little bits there. On the floorboard, we got some here. There's some on the bulkhead here. But you reach a point where I'm at now where the PE that needs to be put in is this stuff that's pre-painted. Obviously you don't want to put that in, then paint the interior color. So we're going to paint all the interior colors. As you can see, these parts here are clear that go onto it. That makes sense. Sorry, I'm looking at something. These are parts clear, and there's windows in there, but the rest of this needs to be painted. It's on both halves, and there's PE attached to it. And obviously you don't want to paint the insides of the windows because you won't be able to see. So I used some masking Sol Neo, and I touched it in place. Here, let me give you a little demonstration on a non-clear area. So pretty much what I did, shook this up real good, took the lid out, turned it upside down. I put a big blob like this, and say this was a window. I took the blob, laid it in here like this, then I used the end of the toothpick to spread it all out to the lines, and then I let it dry overnight. And that's the simple way. Unfortunately, the windows have ridges in them, so it held in the PE or the masking fluid. Excuse the cat tail. Cat thinks it needs to learn how to build too. So that's what I did for those windows, and it worked really well. They're all masked off, they're all dry now. Once I get the whole inside painted, I can unmask those windows and they'll be clear. Probably end up doing the same thing, except there's no raised detail on this side. No window frames. Sorry, no window frames. So I'm going to have to probably mask it. But this is outside, so it's easier to mask. This is obviously inside, and I've got PE parts attached, and cutting little pieces of tape just wasn't going to work for me. So, stand by while I get ready to set up a little paint area right here in front of me. I'm using Model Air Green Zinc Chromate, which is the interior color for most American fighter aircraft in World War II. I'm not doing, as you know, I'm not doing the version that comes with the kit, which would have a different interior color from what I can read. So, give me a second, and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back, about ready to spray. What I got here is a little wooden spray booth from Hobby Zone, the guys who make all those cabinets and sliding drawers that we use. It's obviously not a spray vent. It's just a little spray booth, mainly to keep blowback from going on things behind while I'm spraying. It's got a little drawer right here. I think it's about 30 bucks from Hobby Zone. And you know, it holds the parts nicely, and you can spray in here and not have to worry as much about blowback hitting stuff behind you. So I'll be using my iWad HPC Plus. Get you into the spray booth. Good airbrush for priming. We can run a little airbrush cleaner through it to make sure it's all clean and ready to go. Check my flow. Looking good. Okay, so I'm going to be painting a lot of parts that are still on sprues. I know that gives some people a heart attack, but it works for me. Take my watch off. I always glove up the hand that's holding the part, because I like to keep my hands clean. No glove, no love. I'm not sure how loud this is going to be, but if it's too loud, I'll edit it. Edit the sound down. Make sure you're good and shaken up. Some people have had a problem with model air. I have not. Fortunately. Hopefully I don't now that I'm filming. Alright, let's start getting some color in here. I'm just putting most of it a light coat down, especially over that clear plastic. I'll spray it with a little heavier coat after it dries. I don't want to pool it up on that clear parts. Same with here, where I had to sand away some parts from ejector pin marks. I didn't reprimer it, so put a light coat down on there. Now, I use, if I can reach it, Mr. Metal Primer over all my PE parts that I'm going to paint. I brush it on, let it dry overnight. It helps the paint adhere to the PE parts. Just a little tip. Hopefully the compressor's not too loud for you. You can see bubbles in my airbrush because I just did a little backflow because it was clogging up a little bit, just like I said it would, because I'm filming. Damn thing. I'm probably going to do the next batch I put in, just thin it a little bit. Just trying to make sure I get all the parts I know are supposed to be zinc chromate. And you don't have to be thick with this stuff because you're going to want to have chipping and weathering and all those other good things. Side consoles. Linear, no. Those boxes are going to be black. Hoping those ejector pin marks there aren't going to cause a problem. See, the bubbles went down. Wing spar. Obviously the part that's inside the wing doesn't need painted, but I like consistency. And inside this door. Well, look, that's all the parts that are on there. And any on here? No, those are truck parts. In here we got wing parts, so none of that. And engine parts. The back of the bulkheads for the engine. All clear now. Let's check the fuselage and see if I missed any parts. I'm going to go back over these clear parts. Probably should have primered them before I did that, but it'll all work out in the end. Okay. Cockpit floor. One reason I like using this is it dries really quick. Just don't do what I just did and roll it across. See right there? Right there? I rolled it across the paper towel. Wasn't paying attention. Okay. Now, have to be very careful with the seats, because we don't want to bend the P. see how well the paint is sticking to the photo etch. But because I use that metal primer, the paint sticks to the photo etch just nice, like it's a piece of plastic. It's always good to have a lot of these self-closing tweezers handy for stuff like this. And you want to blow on here carefully, because if the super glue didn't take, you're going to blow apart your PE. If you blow apart your PE at this stage, it's going to be a bear to put back together. All right. I feel like I'm missing something. I haven't seen, or don't remember seeing the instrument panel parts. Let me check something real quick. Nope, I don't know the clear sprue. So then we keep our instruction book handy. And we've got all of that. Got the bulkheads. What we need to do. Sides for the bomb bays. Got that. So you always want to refer back to your instructions. We need to do the little chairs. What I was looking for was the instrument panel. Right here, F16. And again, that's why I've got all my sprues with this tape on it, so I can easily find it. F16. Right there, so I did miss it. Now I'm not going to do the front part too much because it's going to have instrument dials on it. Let's see, these do. Let's see. No. Yeah. Just to be safe, you can always paint over it. Those are braces for, well, that's for the wheel. Those boxes aren't, but this is. And if I missed anything, we can always come back and get it again later. Keep the seats out of the way. sure I get all around. Color cup is empty. I'm not going to actually don't need that much more. And you can see how this little spray booth area works okay. I'm just spraying inside of it. Now, however, a little word of caution. I only do this with acrylics. My enamels, my lacquers, I go to the next room and I use my spray booth because I don't want to get sick. I don't want to have my lungs all clogged with stuff. And even with acrylics, if I wasn't talking to the camera, I'd be wearing one of my face masks. And I think that'll be okay because this is obviously going to be covered with primer and paint. And I don't want to flood it. One thing I do need to do, I just noticed where I did my test little masking thing right here for you guys. See how well that masked up? Perfect masking job. I love that Neosolv for masking. But I gotta spray it now. Just like that. So, I'm gonna run through the instructions again. See if I missed anything more on the interior. The Bombay doors. Gotta do the Bombay doors. Gotta find the back of the tail. Okay, that's a clear part. So, okay, this is another whole clear part, so I'm going to have to mask that and paint that at a later date. The Bombay doors are D. Make sure I got those. And here, H and H25, F15, those are interior parts. So first let's find D. What D number was that? Let's check the box. There we go. Bombay doors, covered with a cat here. Oh, there's some parts I missed that I just looked at in the direction. Sprue H. That's why we double check our directions before we clean out our airbrush and stop. A few more drops in, not a lot. This stuff goes a long way. Move the fuselage out of the way. Make sure your parts are clean. I like to blow them off. Because I have cats. Which means I have cat hair. I'm going on all sides with this because if you're going to display it open, you got to slice it right down the center right there. Alright, now the H sprue has all these parts for the gun bay, for the turret, and these parts. And this part was one. And it's obviously not the end of the world if you miss things, because you can just go back and do it again. And you're going to get those people, you're painting on the sprue, you're going to have to touch up. True, I may have to touch up some parts, or they may not even be seen. But I would rather have them all painted as much as I can now and touch up than risk trying to paint them when they're together and they break apart, or I drop them, or... But it's each individual's choice. That's what I'm trying to get at. If you don't want to paint on the sprue, don't. Cut them all off, put them together, paint them your way. Because it's your model. What was that D part I was looking at? It was an F part, F15. And taking your time with this, you can see how much I keep sitting the airbrush down. I'm not worried about it. And I'm using the Model Air. And it's drying out a little bit, but it's going to make it through the whole process. I had that first little bit of problem, but once I cleared out, it was probably because normally I would clear the tip out with a toothpick or something, you know, clear the nozzle out, stick it in there, and then take a few drops out and do it in a color cup to make sure I get the chunk of dried stuff out of there. I didn't do that this time for some unknown reason. Mainly because I guess I was so excited about filming another part, I didn't even think about it. So, go around, check your parts, make sure you didn't miss any parts you think might be visible, check your corners, check your edges. And you got a little bit of paint left, you might as well use it up. Excuse the elephants that someone just let in the house. This is dry, so I'm going to spray over where I had the initial clipping done. And this one's that one. And since it's dry, I can hold on to it. Get those little edge parts. That's one thing I like about this Model Air. It dries really quick. One more quick check on the inside. Anything, because you're going to be looking up through the bomb bay, looking down through the cockpit. Like I said, this is going to be covered on the outside, so I'm not going to worry about it anymore, because I got the PE all done. And I think that's it. My color cup's empty. So now I give it a quick clean out. It's acrylic paint, so put the lid back on the paint. It's acrylic paint, so I'm using UMP airbrush cleaner. That's what I use for all my acrylic cleanup. Never had a problem with it. Got my old cleaning brush here. And I get the sides of the airbrush. And I'm gonna backflow. Some say do, some say don't. I talked to Ken at Badger at the IPMS show in Omaha in the summer. He does it, and since he's been airbrushing his whole life, I figure he knows what he's talking about more than some people or say other things. Give it a good wipe down on the inside. Now this is just a quick cleanup. This isn't stripping the airbrush. This is just so if I wanted to use it right away again real quick. I could. I've got my pot here. Spray out the rest of that in there. So, I don't know why you can see that, but it's all clear on the inside. It's clear on the tip. There's still going to be some in the needle. As you can see when I do this. Spray it on right here. Tiny little bit of green still coming out. Nothing to worry about. If I really was worried about it, I just unscrew this, unscrew this, wipe the needle down. Pull out whatever's left. Make sure my trigger's in place. Gently put the needle back in. Gently. Don't want to splay the nozzle part. And there you go. All ready for the next use. Once a month I strip my airbrushes unless they need it more. Clean off my cleaning brush. Take off my glove. Move my little portable booth out of the way. There we go. We're all primed, ready to go. I'm going to put PE parts in. I think I missed a little there, I might need to touch up. Seats. I'm going to put the seat belts on them. And then there's cushions are going to be a different color. A little bit of weathering. And I'm going to attach them to the floor, which is right here. All ready to go. And I'll do a little weathering, and I'll show you that in the next video, which will be coming along a lot sooner now that the holidays are over. I like to let this dry for a couple hours before I start putting more PE on it. It's acrylic and it's dry to the touch. But sometimes it gets, especially here where I put multiple layers on, it's going to get an eggshell kind of finish, which means hard on the outside, liquid underneath, just like an egg. And if I break through that with super glue or something, I'm going to be real unhappy because it's going to screw up my PE part, and I'm going to have to repaint it. So I'm going to let this sit for a couple hours. Then, as you can see, give you a quick look at where I'm going next. Instrument panel. I'm going to put the wheel on. Put all this into there. I've got over here my tweezers. This part, little handles, and a couple of them are broke off inside of there, but that's this here. I didn't paint it green because it's already colored. I got to paint the sides green. I'm going to do that by brush. And this door here, it's got some handles on it that I need to take care of. These parts that go on the bulkhead, these are already on there. This is the door that's going on there, it's right there. But these are colored parts that I couldn't put on. This is for a fire extinguisher holder, which should be on there. Yep. It's on there right there. And then those other parts are right there. Well, you can see them now. Again, once it's dried, we'll get it weathered up. On this side, we've got the sides that we're going to have to do. And again, this is a lot. All this ones here, anything below number 26 is colored PE. These other parts need some plastic things cut out. They're going in there. I did this part, painted it. It's going to get the gun barrels and then more PE that's colored. Landing flaps, I don't remember if I bought it or not, I'll have to check. And these are more interior parts. I put this in, but this colored panel goes on. The color, everything here, again below number 26 is all colored. These are guns I haven't done yet. Same over here, all colored PE that I can put on now. And this is gun parts here. This is for the floor. I probably should have put that on and paint it, so I'm going to have to put 42 onto this one part. It's still attached to a sprue and paint it. But that's where we're headed next. Thanks for watching. Hope everyone's had a good holiday weekend. And thanks for sticking with me. There'll be a lot more consistency now. Every Sunday I'm going to film a video. And every Sunday or Monday it'll be posted. Thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying the build.